I'm trying to work out the melody to Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Do you know how to play it on the ukulele? Yeah, I know it. It's down, down, up, up, down, up. Pretty sure that's not it. Oh, that's not it? Are you sure that's not it? Have you tried down, 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 up, down, 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 up, maybe? I don't think that's it either. Hey, all you lovely learners out there in Learning Land, Tyler from Tenthumbspro.com, and today we're going to talk about the most important thing that ukulele players are not practicing enough, melody. Playing the melody will not only help you become a better singer, it's going to make you a more well-rounded musician. Printable tabs for this breakdown here by becoming a Patreon. Tabs to all of our lessons. A link to this direct tab pinned in the first comment. Check the description for my email if you want some one-on-one lessons. New ukulele every single Wednesday and Saturday. Go ahead and grab your ukulele. Brain and attention span. Once you have those three things, follow me on in and let's break this lesson down together. Come on in, let's do it. Melody. You have three elements of music. You have your rhythm, which is your strum pattern. Your harmony, which is your chords. And your melody, which is often what people sing, but it can be played. Okay. A lot of ukulele players don't spend the time to really dive in and learn the melody to a song, and they're doing themselves a disservice because they're making themselves weaker in that area. And by spending more time developing your understanding of melody and your ability to play melody, you're going to not only be a better musician, you're going to be a more well-rounded musician, and it can help your singing as well. So let's just talk about how to do that. One area you're going to have to improve is your ability to read sheet music. So I'm going to put a link up here to our 4-part series, and that if you're doing just basic reading of sheet music, diatonic, in the key of C, it's really, really easy. And a lot of these websites will let you transpose the songs into keys that are easier for you. Great keys for the ukulele are the key of C, no sharps and flats, F, 1 flat, G, 1 sharp. These keys are quite a bit easier. D is another good key. If you're in the key of F, for example, you can just move it to the key of E and make it a lot easier. But you'll see something that looks like this, where you have the melody and you have the lyrics. And the first thing that you want to do is to be able to translate this into tabs, and you write it down, put it into something that you're more familiar with. So this isn't going to be a deep lesson on reading sheet music. That's what that whole course is for. But what I'm going to do is, my first step when I'm studying the melody is I'm going to turn this melody into tabs. Somewhere, CC03, and I have my pen and I'm writing this down. A lot of times when you print these PDFs out, you can print them out. You can write right on them, which is really beneficial. You just write the tabs over them. 03. So now that we have it in tab form, it's in something that we're familiar with, something that we can work with. Now, there's two things kind of that you're really doing with by practicing the melody. The first step is if you're a medium singer, or even if you're a developed singer, by learning the melody, we're going to be able to sing this song better. And then as a ukulele player, no matter how far you want to take your musical understanding, you should want to be able to sing the song with the correct melody. Now, after that, we can use the melody to become a more complete musician. But let's look at the first step. And this is really great if you're a so-so singer like me. We're going to start to just play the melody and hum along with it. So, ooh, 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 ooh. Just go through it like that and do your best to sing it along with it, hum with it, do the la-las, do the ooh-oohs. And even if you're not singing in pitch, because this is too high for me, I'm trying to sing an octave underneath, it is going to help me when it comes time to sing it because I have a better understanding of the actual melody. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. And you start to do the same thing with the lyrics. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. Now, really, the ukulele isn't the best teacher of singing. If you have a piano, this is even better because that way you're not trying to sing the octave. You're actually singing the same pitch that you'd be doing that. But you do that a couple times, build up some confidence. then when you do go to play and sing the song, it's going to be easier for you. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. And I know that's not perfect, but I haven't practiced this song at all previous to this. If I do this for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it will definitely improve my ability to sing this song. And I'm going to be singing it much better than I am just reading the lyrics or trying to sing along with the tune. Having said that, singing along with the version that you want to play is also very, very important. So I would do that for the entire song. I would get the sheet music, I would turn it into tabs, I would hum through it, and then I would learn to sing it, and I would learn to play it. Somewhere over the rainbow. And take the time to search for it. Do each note. Somewhere over, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. And it's not perfect, but I'm getting in that ballpark, and then comes the most important word in all of music, repetition. Okay? So, now that I've done that, and I've done this for a week, and I feel much more confident singing it and playing it, that would be stage 1, and if you want to take it only that far, that's great. But understanding melody is going to make you a better musician. So the next thing I would encourage you to do is to figure out each of the intervals of these notes and then put them over each note. Now we're in the key of C. C is your root, D is your second, E is your third, F is your fourth, G is your fifth, A is your sixth, B is your seventh, and C, your root, is back to being the root. Even though it's the octave, you would still consider it the root. Now you could say eighth, ninth, etc. if you wanted to as well. So I'm going to write the root above each note. Root, root, 7, 5, 6, 7, root, root, 6, 5. Each individual interval, by kind of learning to sing them individually, your voice is going to be able to jump to those faster. Root, 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 and root 7, root 7, root 5, root 5. Each of these intervals has a distinct sound, and by understanding them from the context of an interval, you're also going to develop your ability to not only compose melody, but by singing intervals, you're going to be starting to sing scales, and your ability to sing songs is going to be more in tune and more precise as well. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at how each of those relates to the harmony. Our first 2 chords here, we have a C to an A minor. So we sing the root over the C chord. Okay, that's cool. That's normal, right? And then we go to the C over the A minor. A minor is an A note, a C note, and an E note. So these are 2 chord tones. C, A minor, somewhere, somewhere. So these are 2 chord tones, which means what's happening is, from composition standpoint, the melody is playing notes that are actually in the chords that you're playing, chord tones. A chord is a triad, unless you have like a 7 chord or a 9 chord. They have 3 notes. And when the scale plays one of the notes in the scale and the chord, this is known as a chord tone. So that's what we have, a C note over the C, and then a C note over the A minor. These are 2 chord tones. We bring up the next phrase, and the next phrase goes 7, 5, 6, 7, root. Okay, now this 7th is an interesting interval. In the major scale, the 7 and the 4 are the most dissonant, meaning that these are the least sweet sounding notes. These are the most sour sounding notes, and these are the hardest to compose with, and they are the hardest to get to sound good. So anytime the melody is using the 7th and the 4th, it's good to pay a little extra attention to how they use them and make them sound good. This 7th is played right after the root. So they go to the 7 from the root. Then from there we get 5, 6, 7, root. So seeing how they approach it is really nice. But also, what chord? Well, that part in the harmony is 2 beats of E minor and then 2 beats of C. So when the melody goes to this B note, we have an E minor chord. In the key of C, you have C, 1 chord, D minor 2, E minor 3, F is your 4, G is your 5, A minor is your 6, B diminished is your 7, C is back to where we started. So you take a mental note and you can say, okay, the 7th interval is in my 3 chord. So if I'm composing a song and I want to use this note, I know I can use my 3 chord. Example, I'm in the key of C and my melody goes, I just wrote it, right? C, C, D, C, B. I can go and land on that E minor and I have a chord tone. So if I want to use this 7th tonality, one way to do that is with the 3 chord of the scale. So after that, we jump to the G note, another chord tone in our C chord, and then we go A, B. So the A note is not in our E chord. This is the first chord. This is the first note that we've seen that would be a non-chord tone. A lot of times these are passing tones, and you can play them if you are approaching another chord with a chord tone, but still they're not all created equal. The A note over the E minor is adding the 4th interval to it. So this makes what's known as an E minor 13. So pay attention to the notes that are played over the chords that aren't in the chord as well, and the sound you get from that. We land back on this B note, but our harmony is a C chord. This is interesting. C, E, G, right? C, E, G. We don't have a B note. In the key of C, the 1 chord, when extended to 7s, becomes the C major 7. So when the 7th interval is played over the chord, you get the C major 7. By this melody choosing to play the 7th interval over the 1 chord, we get a very jazzy sounding harmony. Having said that too, the phrase moves up to the C note where we get something called resolution. Resolution is where the phrase stops, and this is more important. You can have this tense sound here, especially if it resolves here. If we play all of these notes kind of in a chord melody style, we would get something that sounds like this. So we can see and hear that that 7 creates a unique sound, but as it pushes over to the root, it's really just pausing or going through that 7 on its way to ultimately resolving on a chord tone. The next 2 notes we have are a C note and an A note, a root and a 6, F chord. The F chord has the F, A, and C notes. So our 4 chord, F, plays a C, plays an A. Those are 2 chord tones. So again, you make a mental note. Your root and your 6 tonalities sound great over the 4 chord. So if you're composing and you go C to an F, you know that you have access to both the C and the A notes when you're composing a melody here. So this is why we study melody. This is why we study melody and compare it to the chords. We're seeing how harmony works, and we're getting a deeper understanding of music, and we're doing so all while becoming more familiar with the song that we want to sing. So we're getting better at the song at the same time as we're becoming better musicians. We finish on the G note. The G note is, and this one lasts for a whole measure, which means it's going to be playing for 1, 2, 3, 4 beats against that C. So in doing so, it's going to really ring out. So it's best if it's a chord tone, and if it's not a chord tone, it's best if it's something that's semi-stable, right? Like a note, for example, or a D note. So it lands on that G, C, E, G, chord tone of C, and it just plays for the whole measure. So that is how you analyze the melody. You put it into terms of intervals, and you look at how each of those intervals corresponds with the harmony. This is a much deeper understanding of melody and harmony in general. And again, this whole time we're doing this, we're becoming more familiar with the song and better at singing it and playing it. Another thing that you want to do is, if you get this, take an app like, there's a lot of different ones, Voice Memo, whatever, record the strum pattern, record the chords, and play the melody over top. Okay, that's just going to help with your timing. That's going to help with hearing the notes against the chords, which should also help you sing it. While you do that too, you can also play against the chords and hum and play it. Do, 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 do. As you're singing and through it and playing it, just creating a deeper understanding and a deeper relationship with the melody, making your ability as a musician to understand it deeper, and your ability to sing and play it is going to be much, much more developed. So the very last step I like to do with a complete breakdown of melody and a complete full understanding is I like to actually dive in, and I like to create a melody that's inspired by the melody I just learned. So really, to do that, what I'm kind of looking at is the key intervals, and I'm saying, okay, I'm going to, for the first phrase that was root, root, I'm going to do something similar. I just went up to a note above the root first. The next phrase that went 7, 5, 6, 7 root, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to arrive to the 7 from the 5th. So the next was root and 6th. I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to go root, 4, and then resolve on a chord tone, 3. So I looked at the melody and I said, what's the overall vibe of this? How is it navigating the scale? Where is it starting? Where is it landing? What are the most important intervals? And can I create something similar based on that information to get a cool vibe? And then what I would do is I would play my new melody inspired by my old melody over the chords as well. Okay, everybody, that is it. That is how you take a song that you like, get the sheet music, really dive in, learn the melody, sing it better, become a master of that song, then use that information and your knowledge of music theory to really study the melody to become a better musician. Take the time to do this. Your goal shouldn't just be to be a ukulele strummer. It should be to be a musician and use the ukulele to let that musician inside of you out. This is a great discipline and a great approach to achieve that. And until next time, keep on rocking and rolling. Have a lovely day, and we'll catch you next Wednesday or next Saturday for next lesson. Take care, rock and roll, love, peace, and chicken grease, my friends. Take care. Cool, everyone. That's it. Thank you so much for watching to the very end of the lesson here at tenthumbspro.com. We appreciate you learning with us. Keep on rocking and rolling. Keep on having lovely days. We'll catch you next Wednesday and Saturday for ukulele, Monday for guitar. Again, really take this to heart. Check those links below with the series on learning to read sheet music. It will make you a better musician, and that should be your goal. Not to be just some strummer, but to be a musician that plays the ukulele. Believe me, it is a more in-depth journey that requires more discipline, but it is a much more gratifying journey as well. And until next time, keep on rocking and rolling. Have a lovely day, and we'll catch you next Wednesday or Saturday. Keep it musical, friends. Keep it musical. All right. Take care. Peace.